First, on the issue of new capitalism, I think from the U.S. private sector and the Japanese private sector as well, there's a lot of questions about what it actually means, and the efforts at looking at capitalism and saying, well, there are certain market failures with respect to you know, um, uh, the environment, whether diversity and inclusion issues, and equity issues, the income inequality and the like, and to the extent that new capitalism is designed to address those market failures. I think the big question for us is how much government wants to um, wants to jump in and set the direction in ways that actually restrict private sector activity. And I think the at the end of the day, all of these discussions, whether it's Build Back Better or new capitalism, ultimately require the private sector to be the driver of economic growth. So it's important, I think, that as we look at addressing some of these market failures, that we don't forget that the first rule should be don't unnecessarily hamper growth in the name of equity. And I think Murakami-san raised China and its different approaches. I worry a little bit that because of China's successes, that the United States and Japan and other democratic, market-oriented countries are learning the wrong lessons from China and actually seeking, rather than shore up our existing economies and address narrowly the challenges that we face surgically. The idea is to actually copy China and to have more state-driven capitalism, which I think would be an enormous mistake. If you look at the individual market failures that new capitalism is attempting to address, again, environmental issues, inclusivity issues, and income inequality. A lot of these issues ultimately come down to the market failing to price the costs in the case of environmental degradation, in the case of inclusivity, the failure to bring in to your workforce the largest talent pool possible, and in the case of income inequality, failing to make sure that you are compensating people throughout society in ways that not only give people the living wage they need, but also give them the confidence in the system, and that it is not designed to disadvantage individuals. So I think all of those things can be effectively priced. Murakami-san talked about ESG. It's very important, that we actually do figure out how to effectively price the cost of environmental degradation or support, and I think it's a very important development. So I think the private sector is excited to work with both the U.S. and Japanese governments on these initiatives, but we do have that one plea that don't forget that at the end of the day, governments expect us to do a lot of the implementation.